Welcome to this YouTube channel. Today we are going to look up the index and merge function. It's a very good lookup function that you can use to look up values in a range. So it, as the word says, it combines the two functions, the index and the merge function. Before we know the combination of the two, we need to know what each does. What does the index do and what does the merge do? That will be our first step. Then later on, we shall go on to combine all of them. So if I start off with the merge function takes a search key, and in the search key is what are we searching for in a given range. So it searches a value in a given range and returns a position of that value in the range. So if I say merge, then the search key, give it A. Where am I going to search A? I'm going to search it in this range here. So it is going to return the position of A. And position is the number, which row number is A. And in our case here, row number is A is 1. 1. Then what type of search do I want? I want an exact match, which is 0, close the brackets, and it returns 1. So if I change this to letter B, it returns a 2. Why does it return a 2? Because B is in position 2. That is 1, 2. If I put a C, it returns 3. Why 3? Because 3 is in position 3. C is in position 3. 1, 2, 3. That is the merge function. Now, I've used it to determine the row number, but I could also use it to determine the column, the column position. So, for example, I can say merge. My search key is amount, comma, my range. I want to search the amount in this from this range here. And I want an exact match, which is 0. So it will return column 3 because it will be 1, 2, 3. Then, so you can use it to search a row and also to search a column. So that is the merge function. And remember, the merge function does not return the value, but it returns the position of that value in a row or a position of that given value in a column. Next is the index function. Now the index function, for it, you get a reference where you want to return values from. I have a range there. If I want to return B is in row 2, so I'll need to enter my row as 2. And my range has only one column, so I'll say column 1. Close my brackets, and that one will give me a B. Next, if I want a C from this range here, C is in row 3. So I'll say 1, 2, 3. So my row will be 3 for me to return letter C. And when I change it to 3, you can see I return letter C. So this is how the index and the merge work separately. If you combine the two, it becomes more powerful. So what do I mean? Instead of hard coding the 3, I want it to be dynamic. In other words, I want the 3 to be found using the merge function, and the 1 to also be found using the merge function. So if I put in the merge function instead of the 1 and 3, I make my formula dynamic so that I'll not need to go in all the time and say, I want a D is in which row? Row 4, so I change it to 4. I don't want to do that. I want everything to be dynamic, and that dynamism can be achieved using the merge function. So let's see how we go about this. I want to return the type, so I'll say index. I want to return the type of D, so I'll say index. Where am I going to return D? I'm going to return D from, let me highlight the 2, because later on I'll also use it under amount. It's better to lock your formulas. So what row is what I want to return for D? It is in row 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can decide to put 4 as a hard-coded value, or you can use the match function, which returns the position of D dynamically. So to get that, I'll say match. What do I want to find? I want to find the position of D. And where do I want to find it? I want to find it from this range. Let me lock that. And I want an exact match, which is 0. So when I do that and close, I'll have finished with my match function for the row. Then I move next to the column. I want in my range here, which I've given C to D, my column, it is column 1. What I want is under column 1. But I'm gonna use the match function to determine for me that column 1. So I'll say match. What do I want to match? I want the type this time. Where am I looking for the type? I want to look it from this range. And I want an exact match, which is 0. So that will be the end of my column. Then I close my index function like so. So it is telling me D type is a vehicle. If I change it to A, it's also a vehicle. Change it to B, it's a motorbike. Okay. Now I want to copy this here so that it gives me the amount. I get the type and the amount at the same time. Before I copy my formula, you realize I'm using B here, which is needs to be dynamic, needs to be fixed. I need to fix my B there. After that, I think I'm safe to copy it across. Just drag this one right across here. It's not giving me the right thing. Okay, let's do it from scratch. I'm going to say index. Where am I searching? In this range. I want to determine the row of B. So to determine the row of B, I use the index mark to index the match function to give me what row is B. For example, if I put 2, let me first hard code them, then I'll come and change it. So I want the amount. Amount is in column 2 again. 1, 2. So it's column 2. I want B is in row 2. 1, 2. So I row 2. Then I want amount. Amount is in also column 2. So 1, 2. So it gives me the 10,000, like so. If I do that, I'll get the 10,000. If I change this to B, I change it to C. Okay, this one is hard-coded, so it's not changing. That's the problem. Now, to make it dynamic, when I change here, it's only this one that changes, because this one, I made it dynamic by using the match function. But this one is not changing because I've hard-coded. So I need to use the match function also in this one. So to do that, I'll go remove the 2 and say match. The search key is this B. comma. I'm searching for B in this range. I want an exact match, which is 0. That will be the end of my B. Come back, say match. I want amount. And where am I searching the amount? Can search it here. And I want an exact match, like so. So A is of type vehicle and the amount is 50,000. Now, when I do that, my formula is dynamic, so that when I come and change it to B, you can see both the type and amount change. If I go to C, I pick the train and the amount is 20,000. D is that. So this way, I've made my formula dynamic and I can search it using my drop down here, and my index and match, combination of my index and match are giving me the results as expected. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and share, and have a great day.